Hi to all my mental health superheroes. I'm Debbie, and I'm the one who created the page, and I've been keeping it going. And I know that sometimes I kind of lack on my posts and updating you on things. I started it because I personally suffer from bipolar, and I've been taking medication since, gosh, 1989. And I realize that there's a huge stigma attached with mental health, no matter what it is that you suffer from or are going through, and it's very hard to talk about it, and nobody wants to talk about it, and that's a shame. And you should be able to talk about it. This is something that I think too many people hide from and are afraid to tell anyone what it is that you're going through for fear that they're going to judge you and shun you for what it is that we've been diagnosed with. This is an illness. This is like diabetes or anything. We need to take medication for this. This is a real illness, and we can control it with medication. So I want to tell you a little bit about me and let you know that you in no way are alone. And, I haven't always been where I am right now. I am 35 years old. And really, starting from the time I was 2, I started suffering from really horrible panic attacks. And they stopped me from being able to go to school, even. And at 9 years old, I was terribly depressed. I had horrible panic attacks. I wasn't going to school. And my mother was smart enough and able, she was able to get me to a really good psychiatrist. And I was able to get on medication. Did it cure me? No. Did it help me cope and get through this a little bit better? Yes. I was also able to learn what it was that I was dealing with, what it was that was going on, realizing that I was still normal and I wasn't crazy, and that, I needed to take my medication every day, and that by taking my medication every day, it helped with those highs and those lows, and that when I did have those lows, they weren't going to be forever, that they did last, but they would go away. When it came to my panic attacks, there was something that I could take to ease it. I learned different ways to deal with them, coping mechanisms. I learned that the world wasn't ending. My big thing was anytime that anything happened with my health, anything that was wrong with my teeth, or if I had a high fever, I would panic. And then, of course, it would make it worse. When I was 13, I dislocated my elbow, and oh my gosh, my world came to an end. I was so afraid that I was going to lose half my arm because they wouldn't be able to fix my elbow. By the time I was 19, my highs and lows got even worse, and I was put onto a mood stabilizer. I read more books about bipolar, and I started talking about it more. I started talking to other people who were bipolar and finding out that they were only just being diagnosed as a teenager. And so not only were they dealing with teenage issues, but then just starting medication and dealing with that. And now at 35, I'm meeting people who are now just being diagnosed and had to go through their teenage years, their 20s, and now part of their 30s, and now are just learning, wow, I'm bipolar, and learning to cope with the fact that they have to take medication every day, and learning about their highs and lows, learning about everything that goes on with being bipolar. Their partner has to learn about having to deal with it. I'm personally newly married. I was a single mom for about 5 years, and being a single mom wasn't really easy for me. I had to work, and work was hard for me. I'm not one who can hold a job for a long time. I'm very lucky that my husband is understanding of what I go through, but there are even times where I recently went through a low period and still had to educate him on what it is that I go through, what it's like when I'm in a low period. The fact that I'm a caffeine junkie. When you do take a lot of medication, it makes you tired. Mine happens to make me very tired. I am not a high energy person. I've never been a high energy person. Your medications can just really kind of take it out of you, especially when you're depressed. It takes it out of you. You need more sleep. One thing that absolutely saves me, and I learned this probably a good 7 years ago. I found that if I went to bed at a reasonable time, I cannot stay up late. I go to bed between 8 and 9 o'clock at night, and I have to. And then I get up at the same time every morning, and I can no longer sleep in. I'm a mom of twin girls who are 10 months old, and I have a 7-year-old. So I'm up about 6 o'clock every morning. And if I keep that routine going, then it also keeps my highs and lows a little more in check. And I have to check in with myself on a regular basis. You have to check in with yourself. You have to keep updating yourself how you're doing. And you have to do it throughout the day. This isn't a once a week or a once a month, how am I doing type thing. This is throughout the day. How am I feeling? How am I doing? What's going on? Do I need to sit down and take a breath? When you're able to anything to what it is that I'm already putting into my body, I really try to, not do anything extra. As a mom and a new wife, I'm learning a whole new way of being. A lot of my me time, I did hair and nails for a long time, so I will sit down and I'll polish my nails, and that's my enjoyment. Sometimes I'll lay down and take a nap, and you know what? Naps are okay. Sometimes they're needed. I'll go and wander around Ross and look around. I learned that when I'm manic, I hand my husband my debit card and I say, you know what? I could very possibly go on a shopping spree and I don't want to. So here are my online sites that I like, and I'm going to put my things in a wish list. And when it's reasonable, let me know what I can get. And then he surprises me and he'll buy a couple things from them. That's worked for us, and that's stopped my manic spending. I can still look and I can still do some shopping, but that has totally helped with my manic spending. There's so much. And you know what I do? I talk about it. I'm out there. And that's kind of what my site is about. I don't want anyone to ever feel like they are alone. Nobody is alone in this. No matter what you've been diagnosed with, if you're just being diagnosed and you are just coming to terms with the fact that I have to take medication, I have to go see a doctor, this is something brand new to me, you're not alone. other people are doing, other people are dealing with this, whether they're talking about it or not, they are dealing with it. This is something that more and more people are being diagnosed, and more people are starting to talk about it. And you know what? It's okay. It's okay to take that medication. And you have to stay on it. That day that you start to feel really good, that means your medication's working. And that week that you feel really good, that means your medication's working. It doesn't mean that all of a sudden you're cured. It means that your medication is working. That month that you have a fabulous month, you have to remind yourself, my medication is working. My medication's doing its job, and I have to stay on it for the good of myself because it's doing its job and it's working. So many people will start to feel really good and think I don't need my medication anymore, and they go off of it, and all of a sudden they just go on a downward spiral, and all of a sudden you don't feel good anymore, and then you have to build back up on your medication. Stay on that medication. When you feel good, that's when your medication is working. I promise you that. I've made the mistake myself of feeling really good and going off my medication, and I do a nosedive. I've done it before. I'm 35. I started taking medication at 9. Trust me, I have done that nosedive. Okay? And you know what? If you're just starting out on medication and, you're on your first one, if by chance it doesn't work, please don't give up. Let your doctor try another one. Don't give up. Okay? I have tried dozens of medications over the years. And when you find that one that works, you're gonna feel good, and your world's gonna open up. And I promise you something will work. I promise you. And I promise you, if you are feeling down right now and you're depressed and you're in that dark place, it doesn't last forever, because I've been there. I have been in the absolute depths of the worst place where I can't get out of bed, I can't shower, I can't leave the house. I'm in tears all day long. I promise you, it doesn't last forever. I've been in those dark places so many times, I can't count. But they go away. That's part of this illness. It's the bad part of the illness. But they don't last forever. They go away. You won't be there forever. I promise you that. When you're in them, sometimes it feels like you're never going to get out. But you will. They don't last forever. And you do feel better. And you get back to yourself. I promise you that. So, stick with me. Remember, it's going to get better. And no matter how far in those deep depths that you are, just keep going, because they don't last. And the down times are far less than the good times. I promise you. So just keep working on it, and keep following me, and just know that you're gonna be okay. Okay? You're gonna be okay. And I'm gonna keep making these videos, and I'll make them even when I'm not in good spirits, so that you can see that no matter what, I'm just gonna keep going. All right? And I know this is long, and I've been talking a long time, but I hope you watched the whole video, and I hope it helped you. And you know what? Let's end the stigma. And please keep talking about this. Talk to people. Make sure that they know we're out there. Okay? Put a face to this illness. And let's end this stigma. All right?